Apologies for the poor video quality. I had to make this video in haste due to it being quite a time-sensitive matter. I may get some things wrong here, so take what I say with a grain of salt. But I'll try my best to give you a good picture of the situation. Weatheradio Canada is a radio service on the VHF band around 162 MHz, which gives continuous weather information 24/7 alongside weather alerts, which wakes up special weather radio receivers to alert the population of extreme weather via encoded alert tones. It is very similar to the NOAA's weather radio network some of you may be more familiar with. Yesterday morning, I tuned to my local weather radio station on 162.550 MHz to get an idea on the day's weather. I was absolutely shocked to hear the following message.
On a frequency of 162.550 MHz.
Please note that the weather radio and teleweather services will be permanently disconnected on March 16, 2026. A radio marine forecast is available via the Canadian Coast Guard. Visit canada.ca/weather or download the WeatherCan mobile application for your local weather information.
That's right. The most reliable method of getting emergency alerts is going to get shut down permanently. I'll remind you what Environment Canada said not too long ago.
Back in 2010 said owning a weather radio is just as important as having a smoke detector in your home.
That's right. It is so important that it is on the same level of importancy as a smoke detector, but yet they feel comfortable to shut it down for some reason. Again, I have to remind you that weather radio is the most reliable way to get emergency alerts, especially at times when cell towers become unavailable.
Bottom line is that it saves lives.
U of M professor John Hanasak teaches storm chasing courses and relies on weather radio when facing extreme weather. He says when dangerous storms are approaching, the weather radio can give vital warnings and information to the public, even when cell towers and internet fail.
We can have lots of bad weather, so it's important to have that resource available to everybody in all locations, really.
Why is it shutting down? Here's Environment Canada's response.
Environment and Climate Change Canada tells CTV News, due to increasing costs, maintaining the technology and services used to operate weather radio is becoming increasingly challenging. It says emergency weather alerts will continue through other channels, like Alert Ready.
So basically, they want to save costs. And they are telling us to rely on the Alert Ready system. Let's talk about Alert Ready. It is very similar to the Emergency Alert System, or EAS, some of you may be more familiar with. Alert Ready can send emergency alerts to your AM/FM radio stations, satellite cable and terrestrial television stations, and your cell phone, only if said phone is connected to 4G LTE or 5G tower. If you're connected to a 3G tower, you're out of luck. No alerts for you. And here's something not many people discuss about. Maybe because it's not well known. And here's the part where the grain of salt comes in, because I may get some information wrong, but hopefully I get the general picture right. Okay, so, of course, we know that weather radio is operated by Environment Canada, a government entity. We all know that, and it makes sense. But do you know who operates the infrastructure of Alert Ready? If you said the government, that is incorrect, at least not directly. Alert Ready is operated by none other than the parent company of the Weather Network. That's right, the TV channel. It goes by the name of Pelmorex. Look, I'm not saying that Pelmorex is terrible, or Alert Ready is terrible, or anything like that. I'm simply unsatisfied. You'd think such critical infrastructure would be dealt with by a government entity or some official non-profit organization, not by some private company. Weather radio is managed by the government via Environment Canada. And with the announced death of Weather Radio Canada, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it is the end of alerting infrastructure managed by the government. So, it's not too late. Write to Environment Canada, please. Make sure that the message gets to the out-of-touch employee responsible for the shutdown. Weatheradio is a critical nationwide alerting system, and this is something we cannot lose. Thanks for listening.
This service is operated by Environment and Climate Change Canada. Comments should be directed to 1-877-789-7733